This Thursday, the Thursday of this broadcast, is going to be Thanksgiving. And what would a Blood Bowl season be without a Thanksgiving game? And just our luck, for our Thanksgiving game, we have the two hungriest teams in Blood Bowl. The Shin Gobblers and the Michelin Stars. Goblins versus Halflings. It is going to be a mess, and it is going to be the perfect way to laugh off yet Thanksgiving dinner.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the game marking the halfway point of Season 2. It's elves versus elves in this no-holds-barred battle for superiority between the fast and dangerous Naggarond's chosen Dark Elves and the ball-throwing, hard-to-pin High Elf team, the Muggles. This will be one for the books. This is Sunday Night Blood Bowl.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sunday Night Blood Bowl. We are now on week 4. And once again, we're going to get a view of the Naggarond's chosen Dark Elf team and the new Muggles team, a High Elf team coached by our new coach, Alex. How are you feeling about the team so far, Alex?
I'm kind of liking it. I've been getting better and better with it, and I'm feeling a lot more confident.
That's good. Yeah, we wanted to broadcast this game because it's elf fight. I want to see an elf fight. I'm really excited.
You're not
going
to
to
see a whole lot except for people just running past each other.
It's just gonna be a lot of running.
The ancient rivalry: Dark Elves, High Elves.
I'm just hoping for a lot of passes and interceptions. I'm expecting the ball to change hands either regularly or just a ton of touchdowns. So, how are you? Have you guys sent the tickets to each other to get the game started?
Yeah, I'm about to.
All right, cool.
Start match.
All right, so we're gonna head on up to the booth for speculation time, and we're looking forward to how this game goes. What's up?
Hold on. 430,000 petty cash.
430 petty cash? Which team gets that?
The Muggles.
The High Elves.
Muggles?
The High Elves.
Have fun with all that petty cash. All right, we will see you at halftime.
See you
You
then.
too.
All right.
All right.
So,
Okay.
given that right now the records are, I think, 3-1 for Naggarond's Chosen and 0-4 for Muggles, I think it's safe to say that Dark Elves are favored to win this one. What I'm most interested in is that Reaper has never had a true mirror match with an elf team. Like, he's dealt with the Amazons before, but he's always
not
been
comparable.
It's not. It's like, aside from the fact they all have dodge, it is not comparable to dealing with another 4 agility team.
I don't
And
think I've played against him.
against no, you haven't. You haven't played against him with this team actually.
No, I
With
haven't.
your team, but I just think that because Reaper likes to take advantage of his movement, he might struggle a little bit when dealing with a team that's able to match his movement. It's a question of how much Alex has learned, because Alex just got done today with playing his prerequisite matches for his Elven Union team for the minors, so he's definitely learned a lot playing them. He's got 3 level 3s ready, so that team's going to be a decent threat down there. But this means he might have picked up a couple of good things that he can bring into this game.
Yeah, I think that is a big benefit because he has 2 very similar teams for both majors and minors. So he's basically gotten a lot of practice in on the same kind of team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing that's going to work really well in Reaper's favor is that we saw this last week.
Game's up.
Where he plays extremely aggressively. Like, he takes a lot of, like, solo blocks, and his team is built to hit harder than a High Elf team. So I think that if he actually, like, plays as aggressively as he has been this season already, he's honestly favored here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think
it's
he has that advantage, yes.
I don't think it's just the it's not just like the coach like knowledge advantage. It's also just the fact that his play style leans so heavily. It's like, this witch elf is gonna be an absolute nightmare.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The quick snap's actually really good though.
I just come back to not only that, Muggles have 6 rerolls.
Yeah,
The
they've
Muggles
got-
have a heavy reroll advantage. Actually, I would, if I remember correctly, okay, Muggles got 430 petty cash for inducements. I see 2 Bloodwiser babes,
Yeah.
and I know Reaper has more rerolls
boy.
than that.
Speaking of rerolls,
Reaper has more rerolls than that. I think he bought a Halfling Master Chef, and he high rolled it. Because Reaper, I think, usually has 5 rerolls. So
Yeah.
now we've got Snape in the back.
they've already used the reroll.
That's really unfortunate to do that. That's one of the things that Alex is still learning about this game is the process of order.
Yeah.
I think it's also funny that you mentioned it because Reaper does this thing.
Oh yeah, Reaper absolutely does do the same thing. But I mean, one thing he does seem to have caught on to faster than some of the other coaches in the league did is how to place tackle zones for bonuses properly. Because I know there are a lot of players in our league who would have put Dudley Dursley in a position where his tackle zone wouldn't have helped. So the fact that he's learned that already is very good. It is important to note, all the players you see on my screen with Loner, which is just the one, that's a name, Alyakanan Bartathil, that is actually a mercenary. Mercenaries are given to you by default if you don't have a full 11.
Which doesn't make any sense because he has 11 players on his team.
Does he?
And I didn't see.
No, his pitch is his sidelines are empty.
Okay.
So I believe one of his players got a stat injury, and that prevents you from coming in the next game. And now we're going to see a knockdown.
This is aggressive
Once
for
again,
High Elves.
This is very aggressive for High Elves. Once again, on to Fear Caller. I know you guys mentioned it in the broadcast where I played Reaper last week that people tend to target the assassin, which doesn't usually turn out to be necessary, but I think with the armor value on this team, it matters like maybe just a little bit more for players like the Catcher.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is accidental or not, but the High Elf positioning here is super like this is
super what?
super strong. This
It
is
is.
actually
This is very
like,
strong positioning.
This screen is ridiculous.
Yeah, it seems that Alex has already at least somewhat caught on to the idea of elf screening, which I believe it took Reaper the first half of his season to do it. I know he says he's known about it for a while, but he did know about it, but the practice of it took him about half a season.
Yeah.
And it seems like Alex has figured it out through the course of playing his games. I know after his first couple of games in the majors, he started to take figuring this out pretty seriously, and it seems like he's actually learned quite a bit.
Yes, Leithen is going in for the Leithing is coming in for the push.
It's Umfin. Looks like we're gonna get a knockdown, and that's gonna be a stun in the middle of the pitch. Ron Weasley, useless
we always
as
say Ron.
always.
Yeah.
Ron's useless again. Go figure.
Yeah.
So, we're actually gonna see a blitz, which is good.
Oh.
And that's gonna be a 2 down.
Oh. Dumbledore.
Dumbledore succeeds in getting the KO. Oh, but Dumbledore's injured!
No!
Oh, it's not that bad.
Fortunately, just a badly hurt. How much SPP did that?
That was the level 3 catcher, though.
Yeah, that...
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
Ridar...
Wait, no, I think there's another one.
Ridar has nearly leveled. That was a level 3 catcher. No, Harry Potter is the level 3 thrower for Muggles. Which, if you haven't somehow caught on yet, the High Elf team for Muggles, all of them are named after Harry Potter characters. And it looks like he's gonna go for a basic cage in the back line. Personally, I would hand the ball off to Harry Potter and have him hold it. As the thrower, it is good for him to keep control of it, but I do like that he is setting up a cage. I know it's not elf
your
screens.
favorite tactic.
Well, it's my favorite tactic because I play undead. It's not really a tactic you usually do with the elves, so it's not one that I would really recommend. But I think given the fact that he is also playing against elves, this might give him the opportunity to get somebody in position to make a good catch. The main concern I have is that since his ball carrier is sitting in the cage and the Dark Elves have a good amount of movement speed, this means that they can surround the cage and keep following it down the pitch.
Yeah, but
What the?
Snape actually has safe throw as well, though. So that's going to be that'll help if he is surrounded.
Absolutely. Safe throw. What was that one again?
It lets you re-roll if you get intercepted, I believe.
Wait, this lineman just has stand for what?
Oh, okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah. If you go for the pass and it gets intercepted, you re-roll an unmodified agility roll for a new pass.
Here we go.
And it looks like we're gonna see what's probably a stab coming out from
Most
Fear
likely.
Caller onto Harry Potter, and it's going
And
to
it's a
fail. Yeah, you needed some pretty sizable rolls to get a good stab off with the assassin, which I think is probably why I don't see them very often. They really only are strong in a couple of matchups, like against goblins and halflings, which we do have in this league. That is more effective. And if Gurney, the Lizardmen team, ends up in the same league as the Dark Elves, that'll be useful for taking out a lot of skinks. But for the most part, making a basic armor roll without going for a knockdown isn't always good. But this does mean that when he's in a situation where he can't move himself into position for a 2-die because he has to screen, having the stab is good because you don't risk getting knocked down. And there we see Reaper moving Kurthel in to hit Hagrid, but Andith was in the wrong spot for him to actually get the 2-die. So I think Alex may have learned a little bit more about bashy things, whereas Reaper has learned a lot about Elven speed.
Yeah, I mean, this is...
I really do not like this positioning.
From who?
From Reaper. There are a lot of places where he is going to force out where he might force out a 1-die roll, but ultimately it does not take that much effort for the Muggles to turn these into 2-die, and it is odd.
Yeah, I mean, this is a trait. This is like a trend that we've seen from Reaper, where he takes a lot of 1-die blocks. But it's like, okay, if you're already setting yourself in a 1-die situation, it's not hard for your opponent to do something about it. Like right now.
Yeah, it's not hard for your opponent to turn a 1-die for you into a 2-die for them.
Now, granted, these witch elves are going to batter this cage.
Yeah, but it looks like we're gonna have Fear Caller's gonna take the beating first. And frankly, I would have had Harry Potter stay to get that 2-die roll onto Umfin, but
Probably.
might not even be necessary. Just a step forward from Dudley, and then Malfoy gets a 2-die, and then Sirius Jr. gets a 2-die. But the next problem that Alex has to worry about, he doesn't really have a safe way to get the ball anywhere downfield. He has nobody waiting for a long bomb, and Reaper still has 4 players on his own side of the pitch that can respond.
I was a bit surprised he didn't move Ronald
here we
Weasley after
go.
standing him up.
High five.
Or is he going to use the reroll?
Or reroll.
He might actually use
He
the
does
reroll.
have a lot of rerolls.
He might use the reroll.
Frankly,
I think you go for it, honestly.
I think you take the reroll just because that would free up Malfoy to do something
Nope.
else.
He's
It
not
looks
going
like
to.
he's going to have Malfoy take
He's
the
gonna
swing instead.
So he's going to take another turn to sit back a little bit.
I think that's a fair decision to make. He doesn't really
I was thinking
have...
about what Dodge does.
Yeah, Dodge, so much fun to fight against. But I think it is smart of him to try and just get himself sorted out on this turn instead of going for a big play, because right now he's not in a position where making a big play would help him. And Talon's gonna get knocked back. He should probably stay on this one.
No, because if you push up one more,
Oh, right.
you've now moved your cage up.
Now Snape can take a few steps forward and the cage is advanced.
What the hell? Here we go. All right, we got to give him a Blood Bowl now.
This is something I've done against Reaper, and I'm going to tell you right now, it is a mistake to make against Reaper.
He's got 2 Witch Elves now.
Yeah, now this is an easy 2-die to take Snape out. So I think this is where we start to see the difference between learning Blood Bowl playing against the AI and learning Blood Bowl playing against other players. Because the AI in Blood Bowl is not the best. Like, a lot of people have talked about how it doesn't really... Like, it understands things like cages. Oh, that's going to be a very
reroll.
unfortunate reroll.
Oh, no!
Oh!
It's still
Honestly, I don't think that reroll's that unfortunate, especially if it's the last action you're making. It's like, well, it gives me some protection and for admittedly your misplay, but...
On one hand, it is the last roll, but on the other hand, that was a 1 2 times. So just having to make that reroll feels like a big waste. And also, now, I get the feeling he was trying to move into position to give Snape some cover, and Snape just does not have any. And now we're going to see Andeeth going in. But if this only gets a push, then the Blitz could fail because... nope,
he does not have dodge.
There is no dodge. So the ball is loose and is now going to be in Reaper's hands.
Yep.
We're shockingly good at with the ball.
I have a good feeling that Reaper's going to try to get the ball across the pitch to Reefin. Because Reefin is sitting in a spot where he can score without making any going for it.
No, he's not.
But it looks like he's not going to do that this turn, which is good. A good decision for him to make. Because if he goes for a pass there, he has Malfoy in between them. And since Malfoy is a 4 agility, like every other player on this pitch, interceptions are 5-ups instead of 6-ups. Which might not seem like that big of a deal, but it becomes a pretty big deal.
Another high five.
It becomes a 1 in 3 rather than a 1 in 6.
Why
Literally doubles
are
your
you
odds.
following up on that?
I think he is trying... I think in this case... So this is a tactic usually that brawlier teams go for, where you just get your tackle zones on the enemy players and force them to deal with you and waste a lot of blocks.
Yeah. Oh!
And Ron Weasley is dead.
There's no apothecary!
Yeah, he still doesn't have an apothecary.
Because he has to keep replacing dead players.
He's had to replace players, so I think after his last game,
supposed to be his brother.
I think after his last game, I told him he should grab an apothecary and ignore getting players, but I think he still bought a player. And now Ron's gonna die because of it.
I thought that was supposed to be Fred that died. Or was it George?
I don't know.
In a while.
But what we started I started to a little bit where I was gonna try and see if the players that die on this elf team are the same ones that die in the actual books and film. But
Nope.
we have our first inaccuracy.
So, the thing about putting your tackles... I know that there's a variation of this tactic that agility teams do, where they try to essentially clear a path from one side of the field. So rather than make a cage, you make like a chute, and you just run your person behind that.
Okay,
It does not work very often, but it's a thing that you do because you have the ability to get onto the flank very fast, and it's just a thing that buys you like 1.5 turns or something like that.
Yeah, right now what I'm trying to figure out is how does Alex make a threat on this ball? Because
He's got
Andeeth is in a place where something could be done about this. That was a dodge.
What just happened?
Why did he move?
Fear Caller has shadowing.
Yeah, so he
giving
follows
him-
up on people.
giving him an option to follow somebody. And it looks like Alex was just giving himself the 2-die there.
Ah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's got Snape who can just blitz Andeeth, and I think that might be the play.
It is
Yeah.
only a 1-die, but that
I don't
might
think
be
you have
what
much
he
of a
has
choice.
to do.
Like even if you get knocked down again, you at least did something.
Well, I was considering Dudley did have a route he could take to get there, but it would take 2 dodge rolls to get into position to give the 2-die. But that might have been worth it. It is a 4 agility team.
He just passes.
Wait.
He didn't even get Snape up.
No. Yeah.
He really should have done that because that just the action of standing him up makes the rest of the play.
I want to see this fail.
rest of the play harder, but now that's going to be the first touchdown for the Dark Elves on turn 4.
I mean, it's not that difficult. You just blitz with Surtho.
I mean, yeah, it's not that difficult, but it still provides a chance that things fail.
You'll never make a stab roll.
I don't know if he's ever succeeded one. I think it happened once. I think it happened once.
I think he's supposedly he succeeded twice during my game, but with him, but I don't remember it at all.
He succeeded once against me last season.
I guess he's done it more times than we remember, but that's going to be a touchdown for Reaper. Refin gonna run another one in.
The knocked out player's back. What started as a really good opening turn just kind of fell apart. And oh dear God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, stop moving them.
That is now it is 11 versus 9 on the pitch.
Oh.
So unless Alex is able to get some KOs, some injuries, he's going to be at a very big disadvantage. I just noticed, and Muggles get to go grab the ball right away. I'm very curious about this. Queenie got stand firm.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if I didn't hear you or something, but I'm just wondering what the reasoning was for it.
He's been experimenting with different abilities. He's
That's
just like
fair, yeah.
he's been taking different things. He's just like, okay, let's see what's good here. So if you look at a lot of his team, which unfortunately many of those members have died.
I think Harry Potter is the only one where he's picked just really solid stuff, the solid kind of things you would expect.
And I think he did this on purpose because he's like, no, he's going for the flavor of Harry Potter is the star of the team. It's actually really quite silly.
It is, and it's great.
He's the chosen one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Dumbledore, his star catcher, isn't here.
Yeah.
Also, I love that Harry Potter is passing to Dumbledore as a regular thing. I really think he should be elf screening here and not caging so much.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think that you let the Dark Elves crash into you. I think you just
because
it would have been more thematic if Dumbledore was the thrower and Harry Potter was the catcher.
Especially considering what Harry Potter does in Quidditch. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
that is true. Harry Potter is the golden snitch catcher, so.
All right, okay.
This is not going to end well for him.
No, it's not.
Why'd you start his box so far back?
That was as far
know.
as Harry Potter could get that turn. But screening was probably the play for him to make here with this team. And
Is there going to be any block dice thrown?
I don't think there are, because every single block die he could throw would end up being being 2 red die.
Yeah.
So he has to wait for Reaper to make the rolls, and he should have blocked. If he had just gone for a block, that would have been a 2 die.
Yeah.
Now Bethlane's gonna get the knockdown. Umfin's probably gonna swing into Queenie.
I'm very curious about what this assassin is using. I'm pretty sure knitting needles are not what you want to be stabbing people with.
They're surprisingly effective.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
I think it's
Wooden
one of the.
knitting needles.
I think it's one of those
perfect for
daggers that
vampires.
just retract when you stab it into someone.
A prank dagger.
He brought his LARPing knife by accident.
It's just like a broken off, it's like a plastic fork that he broke to make into a shiv.
Or just one of those high quality foam knives.
Yeah, I mean, so
When you squeeze the handle, blood spurts out.
and maybe I'm, so I tend to be a little bit harsher on coaches because that's just the way I am.
Yeah.
I keep seeing. So, I mean, obviously Alex is making mistakes. That's expected, because this game is hard as hell and it's unforgiving.
Mhm.
But I keep seeing Reaper making Alex's play so much better.
You mean when Alex makes a play, Reaper's play sometimes improves what Alex did?
Yeah, it makes Alex's play look a lot better than it really is. Because Reaper makes some kind of mistake that's just why...
I've noticed Reaper's coaching style tends to be the first 3/4 of the players he moves are towards a goal, and then once he starts to run out of things that he thinks he needs to do, he'll just start doing things for the sake of doing them.
And like, and there's something to be said about that with some teams, like especially like brawly teams.
Yeah, you can
just
get
start
away with
throwing
something like
monsters.
that with the ogre, or not with ogres, with like orcs or undead. But
Or-
I mean,
yeah.
with dark elves, not really.
So I mean,
I
now
might
in
be
this,
assuming something here, but he might have just written this off as he's gonna win this, so he might be just being a bit overconfident.
I don't think Reaper does that though. Like Reaper is overconfident as hell, but he wouldn't do
Yeah,
like
no.
like he just willfully put cattle into a 2-die situation. What the hell?
Who's he throwing to?
He is throwing to.
He's trying to get SPP, I think, or
No, he's trying to get the ball out of there.
Yeah.
which is fair, but he can't move him.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that was an oversight on his part or if.
Oh no,
really
he's just straight
wanted
up
to move
moving
it.
the cage. Okay, this is actually
Okay,
really-
he's just shifting the cage. So now we're gonna get probably.
actually, you know,
a
I mean, I
blitz
criticize
on the
Alex,
Vanis.
but like, that's actually a pretty reasonable play. I mean, I probably
It
would have made the
is.
2-die at first, but no, I actually think this is a reasonable play. Like, you throw the blitz from Dudley onto Vanis. Yeah, like this is actually
this
fun.
is a good play.
No,
I like
this is
this
actually
play.
very smart, and I don't think Reaper was prepared for that.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
I think.
my gosh.
Oh, and there's
Vanis
the
is
KO. So the numbers are
On
gonna get a little
the
bit
star
even.
Player of
Oh yeah, Vanis is by far the star player of this team. And now.
wait, now there's a there's a 2-die attack on the next guy on Surfel.
On Surthel, no, there's not, because Talon will add 1 strength since he's adjacent to Alkane.
Oh, okay.
Because assists are kind of weird like that.
Yeah.
Like, so if you go to make a block and someone has tackle zones on you and they're not contested, then they can help by basically hindering you.
So, do you trust
Do you trust the random
mercenary to move down the pitch? Because you can actually set this up in a really interesting way, and I mean it's
setting
a
up
way that
setting up for the pass?
right, yeah, next turn, and that's exactly
And
what he's doing.
yeah, that's what he's gonna do. I think that was a good play to make, because I mean, with 4 agility, you can get away with things like that. That was probably one of the riskiest plays we've seen so far this game, but it pulled out for him.
Maybe,
And now
yeah.
Fearcaller's just gonna throw a regular block, which is good. Because
Wow, he did something for once.
And say what you want about, say what you will about whether or not stab can be successful, but if you can guarantee a 2-die, that's
Yeah.
what you go for. Stab is there for when the best you can get is 1 die, and you don't want to get knocked over. Stab should be more of a last resort than the first option.
Well, like what's hilarious about the assassin is that like the assassin's job is like he's a meat shield. He's not this thing that's gonna actually like deal damage. He's a thing of I can try to hurt you while
I'm
not
mostly
knocking
here to
myself
get in your
over.
way.
Like his entire job is to get knocked over.
Yeah, he's kind of like elves have linemen, but they're not really meant to. Like elves have linemen that are like, as Reaper would put it, the sacrificial lamb for a block to get in the way of a big guy. But I feel like the assassin takes up that role just a little bit better. Just because he's designed to have a chance to do something with the awful position you put him in, and
Also,
that.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
I
let's
hope
see.
Alex doesn't mess this up again, because last time he accidentally clicked the wrong one. Okay. Yeah, that's another thing new coaches tend to do, is you forget that the red dice are from your opponent's perspective when you're on defense.
Well, like it's also just like stuff like okay, yellow is defender down, straight up. It's not.
It
not.
is not your down, or it is not your opponent is down. It is the defender is down, and that's a very important thing to remember.
So they broke the cage, but notably Stand Firm just fucked over the elves.
Stand Firm absolutely has saved this. So, I think Alex actually has a pretty decent set of plays coming up here. He can have Dudley knock away Avenira, and then 1 blitz from Sirius Jr. or from Malfoy, preferably Malfoy because of block, and you can get Andith out of the way, and then you just get Aliakonin down and away further down the pitch, which kind of difficult because he does not only does he not have, not only does he not have dodge, but he also has loner. So
Yeah.
he's not exactly the
Follower.
kind of he's not really the kind of person you want to have doing the job that he's doing right now. Alex really needs to stand up Hermione and Queenie.
Yeah.
Because if he does not do that, then he gets swarmed by Dark Elves.
In
next turn.
classic elf mirror fashion, the board state does not actually it's not immediately obvious who's like doing well here.
Yeah.
Like this is absolutely still like a touchdownable drive for
This
high
is
elves.
this is a touchdownable drive for High Elves and a touchdownable drive for Dark Elves. The thing about
Oh, absolutely.
the thing about an elf mirror match, it doesn't really come down to it doesn't always come down to who got the who's moving the ball further. What it really comes down to is who has a hole in the field.
Yeah.
If you have one space left open on your side of the pitch, then if Alex makes a mistake and leaves the ball carrier exposed for a single turn, ball is in Reaper's hands, ball is in end zone. If Reaper does not address downfield scoring threats for one turn, ball is downfield, ball is in end zone. It really comes down this is like, if I had to describe this by comparing it to any other game, I would say watching a High Elf game is like watching a game of League. Because watching a pro game of League, because you can't always tell who's winning, but if somebody makes the slightest mistake, you know who's losing.
What the hell? The ball carrier's going for it.
What?
That's an odd choice. Now he really needs to get that knocked down onto Avenira.
That's why he did it.
But it looks like he's going to get it. Well, he already had the 2-die because of Dudley Dursley.
Yeah.
So,
That was interesting, though.
yeah, that is an interesting play. So there's the
Hello,
jump
jump
up
up.
from Avenira. So now Andith is going to get a 1-die block there. Notably, there is actually nowhere for any of Reaper's players to stand to make that a 2-die block. So it comes down to a single die. I really think Beth Lane should have just hit him. Because if Beth Lane gets that hit, now maybe you have room to do something.
He has seen 100% more success using his feet than he has with his knife.
Yes, I can confirm this.
He's a dancing fool.
So yeah, it looks like Reaper's just trying to make the play on the ball this turn.
That's still not a 2-die, man. Like,
And now this frenzy's gonna make another one.
okay,
another
here we
1-die.
go. It's a knockdown, but
So the ball is loose.
And
If this
where's it
goes
gonna
the wrong
bounce?
way,
It's
I don't think you re-roll that. And now the ball is in a spot that Ridar can get it and get downfield.
yeah.
And Reaper's got a lot of these players locked down. So right there, that was the opening that Reaper needed, was just that
Oh,
little
no.
movement downfield. And now
the scoring threat.
the scoring threat is on the ground. So Alex will not be scoring this drive. Whether or not Reaper scores again is going to depend on whether he can get this pickup. Oh, I see what he's going for. He's going to try to get the pickup there,
Pass it.
pass it over, because if
He messes it up again.
he makes that mistake,
He got it!
Hey!
and Harry Potter has the ball.
The boy who lived is once again in
He
possession.
gets this person up. Is he going to run him down now?
He can't
Please,
run him all.
please.
He can't run him all the way down. It's turn 8.
Oh.
There is no way for him to score. So it is going to, the half is going to end at least 1-0 in Reaper's
He has
favor.
to pass this ball away just to, like,
Yes.
I mean, the last action you take is you toss this ball. Oh, interesting. He's moving him closer to make it easier?
Yeah, but he's still adjacent to Cavalier,
Oh, wow,
which
he's just
makes
going
it
for it
harder.
now.
But he's gonna go for the pass anyway. He's gonna have to spend a reroll to get that catch.
And
'cause
Loner.
I mean, yeah, he's just... Nope, Loner didn't go off.
Loner didn't go off, so he's gonna
got
get
it!
the catch, which does make this next
Still-
turn a little harder. But Reaper could absolutely
Oh my
still
gosh,
do
he's
something
gonna
with
build
it.
a
Okay.
cage.
Yeah,
The cage is
he's
being
gonna go
built.
rebuild a cage.
High Elf Cage is so annoying.
It's really annoying, but it's really funny.
Well, I mean, so here's like, it's not like the best strategy, but against the High Elf or against the Dark Elf team that's gonna like bash you, it might actually just be the right plan. Because what are they gonna do? Your blitzers are better than their blitzers.
Are their blitzers
Right?
better? The
I think they might
blitzers for High Elves are 7-3-4-8 with block. A blitzer for the Dark Elves, I'm trying to find one that isn't
Do
leveled.
they actually have one?
A
They might
blitzer
not
for
have-
the Dark Elves are 7-3-4-8 with block.
They're the exact
They're
same.
exactly the same.
Okay, no, so they are exactly the same. Okay, never mind.
They
then.
just look more intimidating.
That's fair. I mean, like, the thing is, like, you've got these witch elves that are really
linemen-
good at breaking apart cages, but...
Linemen are also the same. Blitzers and linemen are the same, so the difference comes down to the fact that High Elves have throwers and catchers, which are dedicated to those purposes and have skills to help them with it.
Yeah.
Whereas the Dark Elves have the Witch Elves and Assassins. So what it comes down to is, can the bashiness of the Witch Elves beat the passing game of the throwers and catchers?
And typically speaking, the answer is no. Like,
Typically speaking, yes, but I do think that there is more value from the Witch Elf for the reason that because you have 4 agility everywhere, you can still make a lot of the plays the High Elves do. The one advantage the High Elves have is just that they can throw the ball much farther. Both
Yeah.
teams have a good passing game. It's just that High Elves can have that same success over a further distance.
right. So, this is... I mean, so, like, the thing is that, like, witch elf, like, when you make your cage, you are opening yourself up to whatever these witch elves do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Alex has done a really good job making these witch elves not good.
Yeah, they've been surprisingly ineffective. It looks like he's going to go for that
Oh!
blitz.
Oh!
Now, the question is, does he do the push or does he go for the knockdown? And I think he's going to give up on scoring this turn, because now he has no way to get the ball out of the mercenary lineman's hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that also brings up the problem for Alex, which is Reapers is just gonna start hurting people now.
Yeah, Reaper is going to make a lot of blocks now.
I mean,
is-
that's
it
an
is what he
occupational
does.
hazard of Blood Bowl. I don't think that's a thing Alex actually cares.
I mean,
Please kill someone. Damn it.
Ah, I
Alex.
was hoping for a little blood. All right, well,
Alex
that's going to
does
be
have-
the half.
Alex has the issue of he's already down players, and he's losing money having to refill his players and can't buy things
fair.
like
Mhm.
apothecaries.
This is why
Oh,
I
really?
think he should just spend his money on the apothecary and just take all of the mercenaries he gets, because this
For
means he's
sure.
just going to get a lot of inducements for the next few games. But he'll at least be able to, like with the apothecary, that fixes his problem because it saves the players that he would normally be losing.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to head on
Now-
down to the pitch and see how both coaches are doing.
Yep.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
So, how are the two of you feeling about this game so far?
It's actually one of my favorite games I've played. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
My elf mirrors are hysterical.
No. I have to give Alex some serious credit. His sequencing is fantastic.
It really
Oh
is.
yeah, I'm very impressed by the sequencing. That like the first play, the going for the ball right away, was a bit odd, but the sequencing since then has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So
and you rolled pretty well on your halfling chef again.
oh
No. He doesn't have a halfling master chef. He just bought 3 rerolls.
oh okay.
Oh,
No, he bought 2 Bloodwiser babes and 3 extra team trainers.
I mean, yeah, why not?
Absolutely, you should play that.
That is the safer way to do it.
Yeah,
I mean-
I
So-
totally understand it.
It looks like you guys are already getting underway into the second half, so we're gonna head back on up to the booth, and we'll see you when the game ends.
All right,
but
thank
first things first, I have one last question before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the death of Ronald Weasley?
you. All right, look, I may have shed a tear.
Yay!
All right. We'll see you guys at the end, and hopefully there won't be any more high elf deaths.
Yeah, all right, cheers.
Your teams have taken enough hits.
I know, right?
His team.
All right. Oh,
All right.
Eiley missed the chat. We're over here, Eiley.
Still.
You jumped into the wrong.
You jumped into the wrong box.
Oh.
And
Oh, no.
there is a KO on Dudley Dursley.
From
just
the ball
after.
carrier, no less.
Yeah. Just
So-
after we were wishing Alex a little more luck with that.
Oh well. Is he gonna build a cage?
I don't think he's
No.
going to build a cage. Reaper
When
does
he
a lot more
really
than
should be,
mine.
maybe.
I think he's gonna build a wall.
Close my door. It keeps getting left open.
He's either gonna build a wall, or I think he's gonna start trying to surround the enemy team.
Well, okay, so he's got the ball on the left side, and he's forcing right. Like, this is just all kinds of weirdness.
Yeah, I think he's actually trying to surround the enemy team with
Oh.
his players. Ooh.
Everything's just falling apart for the High Elves now.
I think we cursed him.
I think he just
think
straight up
maybe-
blitzed this ball carrier.
I mean, the ball carrier is exposed. If you get 2 players covering it, you can go for an easy blitz and get the ball down. But all that really does right now is slow Reaper down, since now Alex is playing, I think, a 7v, 10? Yeah.
Oh no.
Is
It is 7 to 10 on the pitch right now, which
Hermione is in for it. Still no
Yeah.
protection for the ball carrier.
Yeah,
I think it's
none at
There we
all.
actually
go.
full 11
I think
that he's fighting.
There
no,
we go.
I think he's fighting 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, just 10. Oh, 11. I didn't see Ridar all the way back there.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot Reaper has a spare player.
So
Yeah.
I can't help but feel like that one person is playing their team significantly better than the other, and that person is not winning this game.
Uh-huh. It really does feel like Alex is playing the elves the way the elves are supposed to play, but he's getting punished for it because of the nature of his opponent's team. And also, some
gonna reroll
unfortunate
this?
die rolls.
He might reroll
He
this.
has to.
Yeah. Not only is it.
No!
Yeah. I think it's not only the fact that he's getting unfortunate rolls, he just also doesn't really have much out of game preparation for matches enough, I think.
I mean, maybe that's true. But it's like it's this thing of like I keep watching Reaper play Dark Elves, and like I thought
It's
I
like
was playing.
it's like
Skaven
watching
really
you
weird.
play Skaven.
Well, no, I'm gonna venture and say that maybe he's playing Dark Elves more wrong than I was playing Skaven.
So now who's playing their teams more wrong? Reaper with his Dark Elves, you with your Skaven, or Adam with his
I don't know
Avars?
because like when I played him, oh,
Ooh.
that was like a 2-up too.
Oh,
No.
That's 3 KOs on
When you're-
round 9 for the High Elves. This entire drive is forfeit for Alex.
When you really should have just probably thrown a block on Surthil and let the other guy run in.
Can
Yeah,
Harry
maybe.
Potter save
This
us?
is the ball carrier doing this.
No,
Oh, no,
that's-
it's not.
No,
Okay,
that was not the ball carrier.
okay I
not
thought that was a
not
ball
that
carrier
time,
for a
no.
second. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Reaper's... I don't know why Reaper did that the first time, but... I mean, he knew the position he wanted to get himself in, and he guess he set himself up in a... Stop trying to stab Reaper.
Well, no,
That's-
I think he did that because it's like in theory, if that works, he doesn't have to he can actually move his players. So like, I think that one's pretty free because the assassin's not doing anything. This round.
True.
Also, I think he really just wants to level Fear Caller.
I think he does, but on
And
the
you
other
throw the
hand,
block.
Fearcaller could have thrown the block with 2 dice. And now
Oh!
after...
Oh my god.
And that's a KO for Hermione. But see, there's the thing. It took 3 of Reaper's actions to get the KO onto that player. Because he started with the stab, he wasted not blocking. If he had gone with a block on Fearcaller, then maybe the block from Reefin would have caused the KO, which is why I agree with you. I think Reaper's not playing the Dark Elf team like their elves right now, but I also think he recognizes that because of the situation he is in, playing the elves like elves would be the wrong way to play them this game.
Exactly. Yeah, he's definitely the beatdown, right?
Yeah, given that he has the advantage of the Witch Elves having Frenzy, he's got block on one of them. No matter how dodgy his team is, I don't... Oh, he's just going for it.
Oh,
Yeah, he's trying to get downfield as quick as possible, and he still has his blitz, but
Why, if he's gonna do that, why wouldn't?
He's with.
I
he's
think
within
the
range of
Thane-
Snape now, though.
he is within range of Snape, which is why the Thane and Talon are probably gonna go cover him. Hang on, Talon's got 6
So,
movement.
I mean, we talked about this before, where like Reaper's definitely the beatdown here,
That's
but
okay.
it's like it's a growing pattern with Reaper.
It is. I think what it comes down to is Reaper, what I've noticed from him is he plays his first drive very aggressively, and he focuses on blocks and causing damage. And then, depending on how well it works, that's what he bases the rest of the game on. So he played this team aggressively on the first drive of the game, and it worked, and he got a few players off the pitch, so he kept going. Now, when anyone who watched the finals game between me and him, the first drive that he had that game, he played aggressively, and I think I knocked a couple of his players. I think I knocked one of his players off the pitch and scored. So, because that didn't work for him, he started playing the Dark Elves like elves. In our game last week that I had with him, I think he also had to switch to playing them like elves. But he didn't adjust enough to that playstyle, which is why that game went in my favor instead of his.
I mean, I'd argue like I don't think he played that game like elves. Like he kind of did a little bit when he tried to cage, but other than that, he played aggressive blocking. Like he's not changing things up for this. What the heck? Oh my gosh! He got a 2-die?
Ooh.
How did he get a 2-die?
I don't know, but
Oh
my
Purple's
gosh.
injured.
That's payback.
And
Oh,
that is an...
Oh!
Oh.
Oh!
Yeah, there's the Apothecary, but
No
yeah,
casualty.
he's
Exact
gonna
same
roll.
roll.
Stick
No,
the middle finger.
the Apothecary got him an 11. The casualty roll was a 55. The first roll was a 55, and then that's the minus armor value.
Why
The
was that a
second was an
2-die?
11. I'm not sure.
That should not have happened, right? Because there also wasn't a dodge check.
So
If you look, he ran right past Hag. Oh wait. Oh, Hagrid's his own guy. That's
you
why.
thought Hagrid was the other team player.
Yeah. No,
Well-
that's right.
But I believe Talon and Bethlane should have given him a strength bonus. Oh, wait. No, right. If you are throwing the block, the strength bonus is based on who is adjacent to you, not who is adjacent to the ball
Oh
carrier.
my gosh.
Oh, he's doing what I thought he was
Here we
doing.
go.
There's the high elf throw, and it's gonna make it.
Run!
And it's
Run,
to the
beautiful
hero.
Run,
Harry
you beautiful
Potter.
Bastard.
All right, Harry. Time to get murdered.
Basically.
Time to
He
do what
is-
you do.
Surrounded on all sides.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Go,
Is he
you
gonna go
beautiful-
for it? No, he's gonna.
He
he's
should
safe.
absolutely go for it.
I think he has to. He has to go one at a
Yeah.
time.
Oh no, there it
All right,
goes.
second one's gonna
okay.
fail. He has 5 rerolls.
Oh.
He
He's
should be
gonna run, he's
fine. He is fine.
Yes!
Hey.
So what's interesting is Reaper can very easily go for 2-die blocks on this, but so notably Harry Potter doesn't have dodge. So it is
Yeah.
much easier for this knockdown to happen. And if Reaper gets that knockdown, which I think he will, then that is the drive going to Reaper, but if he can't get it,
There he goes.
he is
Yeah,
going to
he's
get
got
it, yeah. And Harry's on the ground, and the
He got
ball
the ball.
bounces right into Ridar's hands. That's just cruel. That is
Yeah,
very
and he's
cruel,
gonna
Blood
run
Bowl.
away.
That is very cruel of you.
Also, admirable showing from Alex here. Not only is he outnumbered quite literally 3-1, he is kicking Reaper's ass every chance he gets.
Yeah, he's started, like, his first turns went very poorly for him, but these last few have actually gone his way.
And it's not necessarily lucky things, because like you're an elf team, okay? Your dodges are like 2-ups and 3-ups. So like it's not like he's gotten super lucky. No, they're entirely reasonable plays.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just rolling with it.
Yeah, turn 9 went really bad for him. Turn 10, he kind of controlled it, and then turn 11,
He just
he
punched
just-
Reaper in the dick.
he reset a lot of Reaper's progress. It's still not going to be enough to to swing the drive back in his favor.
Oh, that is ooh. That is payback.
I mean, yes. I mean, like the reality is that they're both elf teams. So like, what one can do, the other can do.
I think what is going to determine whether or not Alex has a chance this game is how quickly Reaper scores this drive. because Reaper is going to score this drive. But if he scores quickly, and enough players wake up, because the Muggles have 2 Bloodwiser babes. It is a 2-up for them to wake up.
Yeah.
There is a good chance that in the final drive, it could either be a 9 versus 11 or a 9 versus 10, depending on whether or not Reaper's player wakes up. So what this comes down to now is, basically just how quickly can Reaper get the ball in the end zone, and does Reaper realize that if he scores too quickly, Alex can do something to catch up?
Actually,
Because a two-turn touchdown is not unreasonable for the High Elves to pull off. A two-turn touchdown when Reaper is receiving is much harder, which would be what the second touchdown would have to be, but still not impossible. If Reaper scores on turn 14 or 15, then the game's over.
right.
I don't think there's a way to come back from that.
I mean, the other half of this, though, is that if Reaper takes his time, and Alex is ever so slightly lucky, which he has not been this entire game. I mean, Harry Potter's just gonna blitz this ball carrier, right? Like, you just do that.
I think what you're getting at is, in theory, he could get the ball and run it.
He can get the ball back and score and tie it up, and then if it's 2 turns away, Reaper can't score that.
Right, but right now what it comes down to is Reaper most likely cannot lose.
Ooh.
At worst,
Correct.
at worst he ties this.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the loner just happened.
Loner is going to fail.
And that is gonna be an over, right? No.
Well,
Yep.
okay.
He shadows.
I think that might be one of the only shadowings I've ever seen succeed.
I kid you not, I think Fearcaller might be one of the most worthless players in this league.
Yeah, I don't think Fearcaller has any value right now.
3 of those points that he has is because I let Fearcaller score a touchdown. Because he asked me nicely.
So he's never inflicted, because an injury is what, 2 SP?
2 SPP. So the only thing he's ever
scored
done is
1 injury.
He's got 1 injury, and I don't even remember if that was from a stab or not. I think he stabbed I want to say he stabbed a skink back in season 1.
It was a skink or a skaven, because I know he did something against me and it didn't.
Why? What was the point of that?
Because there's 4 people left and you outnumber your opponent 3-1.
Yeah, but like go for a block. Although, I mean, I guess getting a block would have also been an armor roll, so whatever. I think that time that Reaper was doing nothing was just him.
Oh my gosh!
What? Okay.
I really wanted that to mess up and land in Sirius Jr.'s hand. So he could, in theory, stand.
In theory,
Right,
then Harry Potter
into the
runs
end
to the
zone.
end zone. Yeah. But,
And then kill him.
And there's a pass.
And this is the touchdown.
And that's a touchdown. I would have been very happy if that fumble had gone into Riddar's hands, because that would have been.
I so wanted that fumble to
That would have
go
been,
into Sirius's hands,
that would
so
have
that he
been
could
a
stand
hell
up,
of a next turn.
Harry, run him downfield, and then move up Sirius and chuck the ball.
So, because of the Bloodwiser babes, we should see all of these players waking up, but there's been very bad luck on Alex's side.
Oh,
One's knocked out.
One's still knocked out, so it's 9 players on the pitch.
Reaper didn't get up.
I think it's 9 on... No, it's 8 on the pitch for the High Elves and 10 on the pitch for the Dark Elves. So still a numbers advantage, but not as drastic as what we saw last drive. I think, to be completely honest, that Alex needs to go for an aggressive opening. I think he needs to be the one to start the fight this time.
Yeah.
Because making that cage has always led to Reaper punishing him. It's just not something that has worked. So I think what he needs to do is just bring Sirius Jr. and Aliakanen to the edge of the pitch. Alright, now run it up and don't make a cage this time.
Run it up. Run it up. Please.
Don't run the cage back to Harry. Run Harry up to the cage. That's a good general rule for anyone.
he's making the cage.
Okay. So a good general rule for anyone watching. When you want to make a cage, the best way to make the most effective the way you want to make the cage most effectively on your first turn or two, 9 times out of 10, you want to run the that just oh god. you usually want to run the ball carrier up to where the cage is, not run the cage back to the ball carrier, because when you do that, you give up ground. If you run the ball carrier up towards the cage and he doesn't have the movement to get all the way up, you still have a front line on the pitch that can protect your ball carrier by not letting people get onto your side of the pitch in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
Side note, Stab failed again.
yes, Stab has once again failed, no surprise there.
Surprisingly.
I swear to God, the one time Reaper's gonna land a stab and it's gonna be, like, actually inflicting, he's gonna stab Lemisukas. Like, he's gonna get, like, he's gonna, like, murder the Croxagore with stabs somehow. And that's gonna be the most notable success he ever gets, and then Fearcaller's gonna die. Because that's Adam's Lizardmen team, and Adam will spend all of his skinks fouling Fearcaller to death.
You know, that would be awfully impressive considering they're not even in the same league right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly it. I don't think that Fearcaller's going to be
He
successful.
can't do it in the majors.
Yeah, I don't think Fearcaller is going to pull that off in the majors against any of these teams.
So, like...
So,
I
it's
think
gonna take Gurney coming back to the majors for Fearcaller to stab something.
So, like, I think Alex has pretty effectively punted this game away. I think we could say it. And I think that he knew going into that probably gonna do something that was gonna cost him this. But
I
the
think
thing is
he's
that,
aware of the skill gap right now.
despite all of that, he has given one of the best coaches in the league a run for...
Yeah, all things considered, yeah, Reaper, I would say, is one of the best coaches in the league, very heavily specializing in teams like the Dark Elves. He did have Khemri in the minors, but because he hated them so much, we allowed him to switch them out for Wood Elves.
I think that's
Like-
why he's playing Bashir, TBH.
Yeah.
Because Wood Elves fight a little bit more.
Yeah, that might also be it. Reaper and Alex right now are the two elf coaches. And if Alex can
No!
he still has
to be
a
fair-
reroll.
That wastes his reroll for the turn.
That's not really a waste, to be
No,
honest.
it's not. Okay, now I think he's
It
gotta
wastes the
gotta
fact that
get
he can use it later.
actually, if he can start covering the Reaper's players here, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, not
there.
like that.
Yep.
I was about to say, you
Not-
just go in there
yeah.
and you type tackle zones.
I would say there you go in and you just start filling tackle zones and just making it a little bit harder for Reaper.
How many?
Oh, there wasn't
because-
a stab. I'm sad.
Stand firm.
Stand firm is so good.
Stand firm
Now it's the
actually
stab.
actually just made this a little harder.
No, I kid you. Oh my god. I
No,
kid you not. Stand firm. Every time it's come into play, it's been so good. I actually think this is I think we've got an emergent meta here. He's used. Oh no.
Oh my! And now stab succeeds.
Wow. Look at
It
that.
only took 3 people.
Yeah, it is consistently taking Reaper 3 players to do one thing
Also-
successfully for his first action almost every turn.
Yeah, this is
Like,
just hysterical.
Yeah, like
Queenie is very good at what Queenie does.
I really want to Reapin to just try to do the solo blitz and just screw himself over with something horrible.
well, now we
Please
are
fail
to
to
see the
going for
blitz.
Frenzy.
I don't think he has to make one yet.
Darn it.
Oh,
And block.
now
He
she's
tried.
gonna go for the ball.
And it's a
That was a
blitz.
2-up to
so
get the
you can-
ball. Jeez.
Yeah, 4 agility is so broken. Which is why today, when one of my whites leveled, I gave him an agility bonus, because I got the option.
You monster. No!
And that's an injury on Dudley Dursley.
What kind of injury?
Missing the
leg.
next
game.
No!
That is another. That's another substitute he's gonna need.
Yeah, he's going to need, I think, 4 subs next game, because one player, I think, Dumbledore... Oh, no, Dumbledore will be back.
Dumbledore's just badly hurt.
Dudley Dursley is out next game. Ron Weasley is dead. And he
Okay.
already had 1 mercenary this game, so next game's 3 mercenaries for him. He
All right.
needs to get the apothecary, and he needs to prioritize the players on his team with that apothecary.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought he has one out injured right now. Are they not? Or is it
Oh,
a death?
He already has one out injured.
Does he have one out? I think it's an injury. I don't think that was a death.
Okay. All right,
So he will
Sirius.
have another player coming in.
It's your time. Go
It's
kill
time.
that witch elf.
It's time to get serious. Yeah, we have
Please kill the witch elf. That'd be so funny. Actually, no. Harry Potter needs to do it because that's when you get the strength bonus. Come on, Harry.
Harry can't kill the witch elf. Or not with one. Or not with. He doesn't. He does not get a 2-die because Kurthel is adjacent to him.
Oh god damn it.
So there's no 2 dies.
Oh.
So many going for a reroll.
And,
Wait, is he gonna just blitz the bulk here with Hagrid?
I think he is. I think
Yeah.
Hagrid's gonna blitz the ball carrier.
but
No,
is it
Hagrid.
It's only gonna be 1 die.
Oh, Reefin is gonna level up.
Yes.
Reefin's leveling to level 3. So now Reaper will have another viable runner.
Yeah, he
And
knows.
dodge.
Follow. Yep.
Breaks apart the team. Yep.
Simultaneously best and universally most hated skill, I think, in all of Blood Bowl.
Yep. If you don't have dodge, you should get dodge.
Yeah.
All right, Harry, it's your time. Or that. Wait, actually, if you follow. No,
Still
no,
1 die. Still one die.
Yep, still 1 die.
But
Yep.
I
I'm
get the
having trouble
feeling
telling
he's
the
gonna
players
throw it.
apart now. Yes.
Oh.
If they have a circle under them, currently they are now Alex's team.
Yes. Oh,
I
that's.
wanted murder.
Oh.
I feel ripped off.
I know. I was hoping for blood.
Why couldn't you have used Avada Kedavra?
You're playing against elves. There's only Bull in this game.
Yeah. There's bowl and a lot of knockout. Oh!
Wipe the left.
Wait!
He can score.
Alex can score.
Alex can do it.
He just
Hagrid.
needs to get Hagrid to the end zone, and then Malfoy picks up and passes.
No, he picks up now. Hands off. Runs.
The only reason I said the pass is just because the handoff's a little tougher with the adjacent player, but I mean it's
Alright.
still for agility, so it could still be.
Go for it. Do it.
You gotta make the handoff.
Please.
Come on.
Hi, elves.
We know you can do it, Alex.
Yeah.
There's the handoff.
Oh,
Go.
but
He got the handoff. He just has to run it in.
Yeah.
Run, you. No.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh no.
That hurts.
No. I'm
It's
so
almost
sad.
as bad as Gobble Luke.
Oh my god,
No.
Luke.
Cough, Luke. Fuck this up, Reaper. Damn it.
He's still got 3 rerolls.
Reaper,
I'm so upset.
Yeah, Reaper has more rerolls
Actually, he can
than
totally score
necessary.
here.
Yeah.
No, Reaper, make the short pass to somebody else and then run it down and hand it off.
Who's he throwing it to right now?
He's throwing it all the way to
Talon.
Talon, which is way further than he needs to try to.
He's gonna re-roll it.
He's trying to make a 5-up pass like he made last week. Oh, it's too bad he didn't have diving catch.
That's a turnover.
Yep, and now the High Elves hit some
Harry
things
Potter's
and then
gonna
it'll be
go for
game.
that and throw it.
I think he honestly should. Like, why not?
No!
Well,
Hermione, just throw the block.
My God.
well, that's a level for Andethan. Well, oh, are you kidding me?
What?
Ronald Weasley got the MVP, but he's dead.
What? What the fuck?
What?
Alright, we're gonna go down to the...
He has a niggling injury, it says.
What? A niggling
go-
injury?
Let's go down to the
But
players.
he's dead.
No, he's just
So-
dead.
Yeah.
That's-
Why does he also have a niggling injury if he's dead?
Let's go down to the pitch.
Did.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm so sorry that your MVP got awarded to a dead player.
It's the one that's dead.
It happens.
But
sorry.
why though?
I'm sorry it wasn't Fred.
Hey, Anzith leveled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Alex, we would just like to say you played elves like elves should be
Are
played.
supposed to be played.
You just got, like, Reaper just got so many good rolls.
Yeah.
Like, you had a lot of good things going for you there. It just, all those constant KOs.
Hey, did you guys see it when I had up to 4 players on the field?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you push Reaper square in the dick.
No, I absolutely found that hilarious. I was wondering what happened if I got 0.
Us laughing when
Uh,
you put 3 people on Queenie.
we actually had a game back in the first season when we still had dwarves, when the dwarves injured and KO'd every single vampire on the field.
Yup,
what
that was
happened?
my game.
Yep, that was Sports'
I
vampires.
just skipped the turn. I had 2 turns left. I just skipped the rest.
Oh, that's great.
No, but
really
that
need to buy an apothecary. Like,
yeah,
holy shit.
don't buy new players. Just buy an apothecary.
I don't have
Can't afford
enough.
an apothecary.
How much do you have?
He already got
30K.
30K.
Did you,
Can you afford a new team member?
No.
No.
No, he
You
only has
can't
30K.
afford. You can only
Wait.
afford cheerleaders. at
did
this
you
point.
did you not get any money at all?
I got
You got-
30K.
He got 30K. That's it.
And he
Did
can't.
you did you buy something last time?
He had to buy a new. He had to buy a new player because I killed
Yeah.
Sirius.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I kind of got beat up there, but it's alright.
It's
Do-
fine. We got
um,
10 good players.
I'd say do yourself a favor. Don't spend your money on a player. Buy an apothecary. Keep using the mercenaries. Just use them as fodder. Do important things with the players that are actually yours, and save the apothecary for the players that are yours. Like, don't ever use an apothecary on a mercenary. And then you can start to get your actual players leveled a little bit.
And you can
I
start
got
to
you.
get more money.
Yes,
got you.
it's gonna be a little rough on the recovery. I expect that we're gonna see your Elven Union team next season in the majors,
Yeah.
given the way things are going so far. But I mean,
Oh.
it's not that you've been playing terribly. It's just that Reapers played this team more, and you got unlucky on certain
Yeah,
things.
it's a game
I
of
mean,
luck, too.
like, I have to give him some serious credit because he was sticking with me for a while.
I was about
Oh,
to
yeah.
say you outnumbered him 3-1, and every turn he had was a scoring potential turn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like he
that was
almost-
insane.
He was turning this game on its head consistently, and he was consistently outplaying you.
it was very impressive to watch. I just wish that the dice hadn't been such dicks.
I,
Yeah.
was gonna
No,
say, I
would've-
really wanted that turn to score there. Just been like, holy shit, you just scored.
Oh,
a
I
score.
wanted Hagrid to score. He was gonna level if he scored off of that, dude.
I wanted,
so close.
even though that's unfortunate, I wanted the very last turn Harry Potter to go pick up the ball and like Hail Mary.
I
That's
would've-
exactly
We were-
probably
we were
should've thrown
hoping.
the block on her.
Oh, I did that to Ben, by the way.
Last week, yep.
I did
It was
that
a
to Ben
5-up
last week.
pass on the second to last turn of the half.
Oh, that's great.
That pass almost made it. Actually,
It's
it made it right
no,
next to
it's
it.
let me just one turn touchdown this. Oh,
I was so sad that you had to keep spending all your rerolls on going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, you didn't have any blocks where you were spending that on, and you were making all of your passes. So you didn't actually have
Yeah.
anything that you were
He
spending it
really,
on.
That was really the only thing you needed them for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
really
It's kind of weird.
was like dodges and going for it.
Yeah, the two easiest rolls in the games were the ones you had the most trouble with.
It seems like that every game, really. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Maybe don't make as many going for it, but like you were shorthanded. I don't blame you for doing
yeah.
it.
Once you get the dodge skill,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put that on most of
You're
my
gonna do-
people.
yeah, absolutely.
I think I'm gonna get dodge.
Especially on your catchers.
I think I'm
like-
gonna get dodge and block on a lot.
Yeah.
Blodge
Yeah.
is fun.
Blodge is super.
Blodge is
super
really
good.
great.
And
And
Oh,
yeah, you should
God.
also absolutely be
Okay.
putting You should either.
get dodge ASAP.
I know it
Hey,
wasn't the best
Riley?
thing to get, but
Yeah.
stand firm. It was so funny.
That
No.
oddly was successful.
Yeah.
I have bad news for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does the-
Edith just leveled.
Did she get tackled? Nice.
She has
got-
sidestep.
Oh
What is
right.
instep?
Sidestep is if you get
Oh,
pushed by a
sidestep or instep.
sidestep. Instep
Okay, I
kind
know
of
what
thing.
sidestep does.
So if you get hit or pushed, you can put where you want to go.
She
Yeah,
has
correct.
no, she has Blodge step frenzy.
I actually.
Yeah, those are gonna be the ones everyone wants to kill.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna absolutely kill her.
Oh, that's what I plan to do for my revenge.
I actually
Alright.
have a lot of hope for my minors team.
I have a lot of hope for it too. You showed a lot of promise with how you
God,
played this team.
You've got promise.
Well, I play my minors team better anyway.
So, looking
Same.
at we've got the leaderboard up right now. there are so many duplicate records, it's ridiculous. So we've got 6th through 8th is Michelin Stars, Muggles, and Shin Gobblers, all 0-4. Then we have from 2 through 5, everyone's 3-0-1. Mean Girls, Naggarond's Chosen, Wisconsin Devil Bats, and Cleansing Light Knights, and then followers are 4-0. But I just... What the heck, guys?
This is
I'm
is
very
one of the most competitive
confused.
seasons.
Yeah. This is gonna be the season where, like, all of, like, everybody who's in the top 5 right now is probably gonna bring their teams back, and then the people in the bottom 3 are gonna bring up the teams that they're better with, that they just had a bad first season with.
Which means season 3 will be even more amazing.
Season 3 is probably gonna be, like, all of our best teams.
Hey, I'll know the game a
3
lot more by then.
You know what season 3 is gonna be? It's gonna be one ball handling team and 7 teams that just beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, my boys are
Pretty
coming
much.
to town.
So it's gonna be Naggarond's Chosen and a bunch of really
Yeah,
batchy
it'll be the
teams.
No, because Reaper plays Naggarond's Chosen like they're fucking chaos. So what he's gonna do is it's gonna be Elven
Yeah, Elven Union and
Nurgle,
Bash.
which is not gonna.
I play the Dark Elves like a Chaos team with better ball handling.
I feel like
It's so weird, but it's working.
I don't feel like you do that. I feel like you play
So-
it like dodgy more.
So-
We have an important announcement. So the broadcast date for this episode is Sunday, November 24th. And if you're hearing this now, I'm gonna put this up as an audio track at the beginning of the video too, just so that if you don't see the whole thing, you'll know. This Thursday, the Thursday of this broadcast, is going to be Thanksgiving. And what would a Blood Bowl season be without a Thanksgiving game? And just our luck, for our Thanksgiving game, we have the 2 hungriest teams in Blood Bowl. The Shin Gobblers and the Michelin Stars. Goblins versus Halflings. It is going to be a mess, and it is going to be the perfect way to laugh off yet Thanksgiving dinner.
Because all the other games are pretty important for us to be in
You're gonna need to sleep it off.
Is be prepared to choke on your turkey because you're not going to be able to breathe.
I cannot wait. This is either going to be 2 teams constantly shoving each other because none of them can get past dodge, or 2 teams constantly getting taken off the pitch. And I don't know which one's funnier, but I cannot wait for this game.
Will Luke finally die?
I am honestly expecting at least one half to get chopped in half.
I hope so.
Dan is thirsty for blood.
The goblins are going to cause serious pain to the halflings.
No, I'm ready for Gobble Ed to, because like, what's the armor of the halflings again?
6.
Yeah. He's gonna bulldoze like a halfling or 7.
I'm going to see who gets their first win out of that.
There's gonna be a bomb.
Yeah,
that
this
gets
is gonna be
thrown,
the
and it, like,
first
kills.
win. This will be the first win for one of these teams. So, this has been another interesting week of Blood Bowl, and it's going to get even more interesting this Thursday. So we hope you tune in. It'll be at 8 p.m. just like every other Sunday night Blood Bowl that I remember to post at the right time. So, thank you everyone so much for watching. We cannot wait for this Thursday's game, and we'll see you all next time.
Have a great night.
Peace.